Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family. Because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling.
Zhao Lusi has just dropped the boldest revelation of her entire career. In a live stream that left thousands speechless, she claimed that Yu Menglong's killer has finally been found. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't just a rumor. It's a statement that has shaken fans to their core and reignited one of the most heartbreaking mysteries in Chinese entertainment. What did she mean? Who is this so-called killer? And why does this matter so much right now? Stay with me because this story is about to take us on a journey through truth, betrayal, and the hope for justice. Yu Menglong, known to many as Alan Yu, was far more than just a talented actor and singer. He embodied a rare balance of artistry, humility, and emotional depth that resonated deeply with audiences across China and beyond. His rise in the entertainment industry was not the result of fleeting hype or manufactured stardom, but rather a reflection of genuine passion and perseverance. In every role he undertook, Yu Menglong carried a quiet intensity that allowed viewers to connect not only with the characters he portrayed, but also with the sincerity of the man behind the screen. His performances in dramas such as Eternal Love, The Legend of White Snake, and Meet in Youth, Love and Foods left a lasting imprint on audiences, who admired the way he brought warmth, vulnerability, and dignity to each story. What made Yu Menglong so beloved, however, extended far beyond his professional achievements. Unlike many who are consumed by the spotlight, he was remembered for his modesty, his grounded personality, and his unwavering dedication to his craft. Fans often described him as someone who carried himself with grace, choosing to let his work speak louder than any carefully curated image. There was a sense of authenticity in him, a feeling that he belonged both to the glamorous world of entertainment and to the everyday lives of those who supported him. This rare quality gave people hope, allowing them to believe that integrity and talent could still thrive in an industry often marred by politics and rivalry. Yet it is precisely this sincerity that makes his absence so haunting. When his career began to falter and whispers of his mysterious withdrawal emerged, fans were left with an aching sense of loss. It was not just the silence of an actor stepping away. It felt as though an entire narrative had been cut short, a voice stifled before its final note could be heard. The lack of clarity surrounding his fate only deepened the wound, leaving admirers to question what forces could have possibly extinguished such a bright flame. His story became more than a personal tragedy. It transformed into a symbol of the fragility of truth within an industry built on shadows. Remembering Yu Menglong is not simply an act of nostalgia. It is a call to honor the dignity he represented. His legacy is one of perseverance, humility, and emotional honesty, and it serves as a reminder that behind the glitz of celebrity culture are individuals whose humanity deserves recognition. In many ways, the memory of Yu Menglong continues to demand that the world seek not only entertainment, but also justice and understanding. What unfolded during Zhao Lusi's livestream was not the kind of playful moment her fans have grown accustomed to, but rather a sudden electrifying turn that no one could have anticipated. In the midst of casual conversation, she delivered words that seemed to hang in the air with impossible weight. Yu Menglong's killer has finally been found. This was not a slip of the tongue, nor the light-hearted candor that often defines her personality. It was a statement that sliced through years of silence and uncertainty. The impact was immediate and overwhelming. Viewers froze as though time itself had stopped, and within minutes, fragments of her words were circulating across every major platform. The sheer audacity of her claim was enough to send shockwaves through an industry built on discretion and silence. What made the moment even more extraordinary was Zhao Lusi herself. She has long been celebrated for her ability to charm audiences with her openness, yet she has also carried a reputation for daring to say what others would not. Still, this was different. This was not a mischievous remark or an offhand opinion. It was a declaration that struck directly at one of the entertainment industry's most whispered tragedies. The choice of the word killer carried a devastating clarity. It suggested intentional harm, whether by an individual, a system, or a hidden structure of power. Suddenly, the mystery surrounding Yu Menglong's downfall was no longer confined to speculation and fan forums. It had been thrust into the public sphere by one of the most prominent voices of her generation. The reaction online was nothing short of explosive. Weibo lit up with trending tags that spread like wildfire. Douyin replayed the moment endlessly, and international fan communities rallied on Instagram and TikTok. It was as if a single phrase had reignited a flame long thought extinguished, compelling people from different countries and cultures to revisit the haunting question of what truly happened to Yu Menglong. Some dismissed it as metaphor, believing Zhao Lusi was referring to the toxic machinery of fame. Others clung to the hope that she held insider knowledge, that she had revealed a sliver of the truth everyone has been desperate to hear. In either case, her words carried a resonance that could not be ignored. This was not merely a revelation. It was a turning point. Zhao Lusi's statement transformed the story from a lingering wound into an open confrontation with the forces that shaped it. By speaking so boldly, she did more than stir curiosity. She awakened an audience that had been waiting in silence for far too long, and in that moment, the pursuit of truth became a shared, unshakable demand. The aftermath of Zhao Lusi's words rippled across social media with an intensity rarely seen, transforming a live stream moment into a global storm of speculation and emotion. Fans reacted not only with shock but with a fierce determination to make sense of what had just been implied. In online communities from Beijing to New York, Seoul to Paris, people debated endlessly, trying to piece together a puzzle that had haunted them for years. Theories that had once circulated quietly in niche fan forums now exploded into mainstream conversations, giving voice to a collective need for truth. Some were quick to argue that Zhao Lusi's use of the word killer pointed to an industry rival, a figure with enough power and influence to deliberately undermine Yu Menglong's rise. In this interpretation, the tragedy was not accidental but orchestrated, driven by jealousy, politics, or the ruthless protection of another star's career. Others believed the true villain was not a person at all, but the suffocating contracts that have long plagued young artists. To them, the word killer symbolized the legal chains that strip performers of agency, confining them to silence and slowly eroding their passion until nothing remains. At the same time, a growing number of fans pointed to the toxic culture within the industry itself. The relentless schedules, the public scrutiny, the constant expectation to perform perfection at any cost. They saw in Zhao Lusi's claim an indictment of a system that devours its brightest talents, leaving them vulnerable to exhaustion, despair, and exploitation. For these voices, the killer was not a single face but the machinery of fame itself. Yet perhaps the most heartbreaking theory was that of betrayal by someone close. The tone of Zhao Lusi's revelation carried such weight, such unspoken grief, that many interpreted it as evidence of a personal wound. Could it have been a trusted friend, a colleague, or even a manager who dealt the final blow to Yu Menglong's career? That possibility sent waves of sorrow through his admirers, who could not imagine the pain of such intimate disloyalty. Beyond these explanations lay something deeper. The recognition that Yu Menglong's story was not an isolated tragedy, but a mirror of broader realities. International fans began connecting the case to scandals in other entertainment industries, from K-pop to Hollywood, seeing in it a universal struggle between artistry and power. What united all these theories, however, was not their differences but their urgency. For the first time, millions of voices rose together, insisting that the silence must end. Zhao Lusi's words had reignited a mystery, but more importantly, they had transformed grief into a demand for justice, ensuring that Yu Menglong's name would not fade into shadows again. This revelation doesn't just reopen Yu Menglong's story, it forces us to confront the uncomfortable truth. The entertainment industry is built on secrets. Behind the glittering lights are contracts that suffocate, rivalries that wound, and silence that destroys careers. Zhao Lusi's courage in speaking out sets her apart. She risks criticism, even retaliation, but her honesty may be the spark that finally pushes fans, media, and even fellow artists to demand change. Here's what makes this moment truly powerful. Fans aren't just watching anymore. They're acting. Online campaigns are already trending, demanding transparency, justice for Yu Menglong, and protection for stars like Zhao Lusi who dare to speak up. Some fan groups are even planning candlelight vigils, digital art projects, and charity drives in Yu Menglong's name. The tragedy has become more than grief. It's becoming a movement of solidarity and resilience across borders. Imagine fans from Seoul to Los Angeles, from Tokyo to Paris, united by one voice demanding truth. So where does this go from here? There are two possible paths. 1. The truth continues to leak, and we see one of the biggest entertainment scandals of the decade. Or 2. Pressure silences Zhao Lusi, the story is buried, and fans are left to fight for scraps of the truth. Either way, the conversation has already changed. Yu Menglong's name is alive again, his story refuses to fade, and Zhao Lusi has carved herself into the history of speaking out in an industry built on silence. Maybe the most important part isn't whether we find a single killer. Maybe it's about shining a light on the forces that take away dreams, talent, and even lives. By daring to speak, Zhao Lusi has reminded us that the truth, no matter how painful, is worth pursuing. And for fans, this is more than gossip. It's about justice, healing, and the hope that no other star has to suffer in silence. If this story moved you, let's keep it alive together. Hit that like button, subscribe to Update X24H, and share this video with others who care about truth and justice in the entertainment world. Thank you so much for watching, for supporting, and for being part of this global conversation. Stay tuned, because this is only the beginning.